How was your Monday, Miss Sierra?
Oh, it was good.
It was really good. Miss Sierra has something fun here. What do we have?
We have a story.
A story?
Yes. So this
Okay.
story is called, the title is The Dark, Dark Night. And it's written by Christina Butler and Jane Chapman. They're the author and illustrators of this book. So they drew us some nice pictures and wrote us some nice words.
All right.
All right.
Oh, I love those pictures.
Frog was very excited. All winter he had been asleep under a stone, and now that it was spring, he was on his way back to his pond. On the way, he bumped into Badger and Hedgehog.
Oh.
Then he played leapfrog with Rabbit and Mouse. He has a lot of fun with his friends. Suddenly, he saw that it was getting dark, so he borrowed a lantern from Mouse, and off he went through the woods to the pond. Ooh, the wind blew in the trees. Squeak, squeak, went the lantern as it swung from side to side, and the dark was all around. When Frog reached his home, he put the lantern down behind him and was just about to jump into the water when he saw...
Oh, no, what did he see?
Goodness, there's a lot of characters in this book. A huge black pond monster
Oh, no.
with enormous claws coming out of the reeds. Oh my goodness, that's scary. Whew. Pond monster's over here. There's Frog and there's his lantern. Frog grabbed the lantern and hopped as fast as he could back through the woods. Oh, there's a huge monster in the pond, he cried. Are you sure? Laughed Hedgehog. Frog nodded, trembling. All right, said Hedgehog. We'll have to take a look together. And I'll come too, said Mouse. Ooh, so now the three of them are going to go back to see the monster.
Oh, boy.
Off they went through the woods. Ooh, the wind blew in the trees. Squeak, squeak, went the lanterns. Wait for me, cried Mouse, and the dark was all around. Soon Hedgehog and Frog reached the pond. Now, said Hedgehog, where is this monster? There it is, cried Frog. It was bigger than before, with enormous claws and terrible spikes down its back. Run, cried Hedgehog. Pond monster, pond monster. Oh no, the pond monster got bigger. So here's the pond monster. Here's Hedgehog and Frog. And here's the lantern. Wonder how he got bigger.
I don't know.
What's all this? Chuckled Rabbit. A monster? There's no such thing as monsters. Come and see for yourself, said Hedgehog, shivering. All right, I will. I'm never going to swim in the pond again, sniffed Frog as they set off in the woods. Ooh, blew the wind in the trees. Squeak, squeak, went the lanterns. Wait for me, cried Mouse, and the dark was all around. Do you think the monster will be there again?
I think so.
So do you think it'll be bigger than the last time?
It is. It keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, the more people, the more characters they bring, the more animals, the bigger it gets.
Yeah.
It wasn't long before they were back at the pond, and Rabbit and Hedgehog and Frog tiptoed to the water. And there it was again, the big pond monster. It was bigger than ever. It had enormous claws and terrible spikes on its back and two big horns, wildly waving arms. Oh no, it was scary. So here's our pond monster, our animals, and the lantern. Run for your life, yelled Rabbit, racing back through the woods with Hedgehog and Frog close behind. What's going on? Asked Badger, so they told him all about it. Come along, Badger said. I'd like to see this monster of yours. And off they went once more. Ooh, howled the wind. Squeak, squeak, went the lantern. Wait for me, cried Mouse, and the dark was all around. Why isn't Mouse getting a ride?
I don't know. Poor little Mouse's legs.
All right, here are our animals. As they approached the pond, a huge gust of wind came through the trees and blew out the lanterns. No more lanterns. I can't see a monster, said Badger. Well, that's because it's too dark, said Frog. And there they all stood, waiting in the moonlight for something to happen.
Why can't they see them?
Why can't they find the monster this time? And then Mouse caught up with the others at last. Yoo-hoo, she shouted, waving from the bank. Badger, Rabbit, Hedgehog, and Frog looked at Mouse, and then they looked at the small black shape waving from the reeds. "Look at that," said Hedgehog. "That's not a pond monster. It's Mouse's shadow," said Frog. "I can't believe it," said Badger. "You guys were running from your own shadows this whole time." The four friends laughed and laughed and laughed. "Hooray!" cried Frog. "There's no monster after all." And with a huge happy splash, he leaped into his lovely pond at last.
Wow.
All right, so this is important right now
Yes,
because it gets dark so much earlier.
it does.
So at about 4 o'clock, the sun starts to go down.
It does. I
And-
get ready to leave here and it's starting to get
Mhm.
dark.
And what you're going to see outside is a lot more shadows. It's going to be a little scarier at night. If you go to the grocery store after 4 o'clock, it gets kind of scary
It does.
because that sun is going to come down. And the way that it is angled, the way that it's angled at us, it makes our shadows bigger and scarier.
Yeah.
So make sure at nighttime, in the evening, the afternoon, you are staying with your big person.
Yes.
Do not travel without them. Don't
No.
walk away. Stay right next to them. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Keep a lookout for pond monsters.
Yeah. All right, friends.
That's
We
it
will
for
see you tomorrow.